Hello, and thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Cousin Crystal. I'm your Cousin Crystal. And in today's episode, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to talk about the food shortage, or actually what I'm doing to prepare for the food shortage. Food shortages, because it's coming. It's real. It's happening. I'm sure a lot of you can, when you go in your grocery stores, you can see that there's very little left. So, and I'm telling you, it's coming. I know a lot of people don't believe it. I talk to people all the time, and I say, "Are you stocking up?" And they're like, "You really think I need to?" I'm like, "Yes." But I'm telling you, I know, the food shortages are coming. Um, there's going to be nothing left. One day you're going to wake up and shelves are going to be empty. Some of them are. There was a program on yesterday. I think it was on the news. A woman with a baby. Her baby was, I think she said 3 months old. She can't find formula. She's not able to breastfeed, and there's zero formula. She can't find anything to feed her baby. That's scary. So we have to prepare. We have to prepare. So I wrote down a list. I started stocking up. I didn't get a whole lot, but I'm going to get more. In fact, I'm going out tomorrow to get more water. But I wrote a list of some of the things that I purchased, and I'm just going to get a little bit more tomorrow. I get it every month. I add to my stockpile. So and I hope, I'm sure a lot of you already and you already started stocking up. In fact, I started stocking up like years ago. I just felt it in my bones. Something told me many years ago. So I always had a little stockpile, at least for the last like 4, 5 years. I want to say 4 or 5 years. So I'm the one. Somebody reminded me the other day that I'm the person that told her back in 2015 that office jobs were going away. And look what happened when the pandemic hit. Offices closed. Now here's the thing: is that people have gone back to offices. But I told her again, I said, yeah, the office is closed, but then they open back up. So you still have people going into offices. But what I see is that they're going to shut like, completely down and never open again. I'm just telling you what I see. I'm just telling you what is being shown to me. I'll say it that way. It's what's being shown to me, and this was shown to me back in 2015. There's a whole lot that's happening now that I saw years ago. So, but yeah, so I started stocking up like 4 or 5 years ago. So I just keep stuff, and like I said, every month I go, and when I'm in Costco or Walmart, wherever, I just keep adding. Um, but so water, we know, is like really important. So that's at the top of the list. That's the first thing you want to get. Top of the list. First thing you want to get is plenty of water. And I get I go to Costco. I get my water from Costco, and I get the cheapest one that I can find, which is the Kirkland brand, their brand. So you get, I get those, but I also they have the Poland Spring 1 gallon bottles, those big 1 gallon bottles, and they have 6 in the box. So I also get those, and store up on those also. So lots of water. But then I get, lots of rice and quinoa. I love quinoa. We love quinoa. So I got lots of quinoa and broth. I like to cook my quinoa in vegetable broth. I used to cook it in chicken broth. I have that too, but I buy more vegetable broth than chicken or beef. In fact, I stopped buying beef. I do get chicken from time to time because the kids like to use the chicken broth. But I like vegetable broth, so I get the vegetable. So that's the rice, quinoa, if you're into quinoa. Um, Beans. I have lots of canned beans and a ton of dry beans and lentils. Lots and lots of red and lentils in the different colors. So lots of beans I have and legumes. And so, yeah, lots of that stuff. And the canned also. Peanut butter and jelly. Lots of peanut butter And I got jelly. We're not crazy about jelly around these parts in this house, but lots of peanut butter. I'm crazy about peanut butter. I love peanut butter. So lots of peanut butter and crackers, if your power goes out, you got your peanut butter, your crackers. And for food, I like canned salmon and mackerel, sardines. I love the sardines that I buy at Costco, packed in olive oil. And they're skinless and boneless, so yeah, no bones in it, so that's good stuff. So canned fish like your tuna, and they even have chicken in the can, just like they pack tuna, they pack chicken. So if you're into that chicken, you can get that. But canned fish, crackers. So you got, you run out of food, you got your canned fish with some crackers, or some peanut butter with some crackers for snack. And also I have canned vegetables. There's so many vegetables that are in the can now, in case you can't cook. What if you just, the stove, there's no gas, and you can't cook on your stove. You got the canned veggies that you could heat up, well, you can heat up anything. You got a grill. I'm sure everybody has a grill by now. I'm in an apartment, and still I have a grill. I never opened it, never used it, but I got a grill. So you should have a little grill handy, or one of those little, I think you can buy like at Home Depot or Lowe's somewhere, those little emergency little cooking, like little stoves in a box. So you can look those up. I'm sure you can Google it and find you one. I think I have one from 1999. Remember 1999 when they said the year 2000 came in, that everything was going to shut down, like all the electricity, everything was going to go. And my neighbor convinced me back then. I was in my first apartment with my kids. And my neighbor convinced me. She had prepared her family, and she was like, buy it. So I went out and I got one. I got everything that she got. She made me buy everything she had. So I was prepared, and nothing happened. And then I had to get rid of a lot of stuff. A bunch of canned hams. I don't eat ham anymore. I know we're not supposed to eat pork. But back then, that was 1999, I had canned hams. Ooh, I had them lined up in my little pantry by the front door in my first apartment. But yeah, so one of those little cook stoves. And so let's see, we did canned veggies. Oh, I have lots of flour and cornmeal. You run out of food. They run out of food. At least you'll have with the flour and the cornmeal, and the flour especially with oil. I have jugs of oil from, I get mine from Costco, but you can get them everywhere. Costco, Walmart, any supermarket, the largest containers of oil that you can find. And I have, different vegetable, canola, sunflower. You get whatever you want. I like all of them, but any type of oil. So get lots and lots of oil. And with the in the Bible, I'm always talking about reading the Bible, but in many places in the Bible, in many passages, when God orders the Israelites to have a feast, he will tell exactly what type of meat. He tells, and it seems like in every feast, he's telling them to mingle oil with flour and bake a bread and make a bread out of it. So that's a way to make bread. So you'll always have something to eat. If you have some flour and some oil, mingle it, and you got bread, unleavened bread, which God really approves of. Unleavened bread, something about unleavened bread, all over the Bible. So you got your flour, cornmeal. Cornmeal, you could do a lot. You could make some cornbread. You could make, I think Caribbean people make porridge. I love porridge. I don't know how to make it, but and it's been years since I had it, but I remember the taste, and it tastes really good. But you could do a lot with cornmeal. And I think Italian folks make polenta. It's like grits, what we call grits, but they make it. They use cornmeal to make it, and it's really good. I had it just once, like a couple months ago, maybe 3-4 months ago, I should say. But that's really good stuff. So flour, cornmeal, Salt. You want to stock up on salt. I don't use a lot of salt, so one box of salt could last me years. Because I like to flavor food with like garlic, fresh garlic and fresh onion. I want to taste that, not the salt. So for me, uh, salt lasts a long time, but I have, a good supply of it. For me, I think about not just my household, but if somebody needs something from me, I'll have some extra to share. So I'm a sharer. I'm into sharing with people. So lots of salt and organic sugar. I like to buy the large bags of organic sugar from Costco. So the granulated, organic granulated. So I have plenty of those. And again, we don't use a lot of sugar in this house. I drink coffee multiple times a day, but I don't use sugar. Um, so, and the kids don't really use sugar unless they're making tea. They don't use it in coffee, I don't think, just tea when they're making tea. So that's the only time, and not green tea, just like Lipton tea or something, black tea. They will use sugar. So I have that. So sugar lasts a really long time in my house, just like salt. It lasts a long time because we don't use that much unless, of course, we're making like oatmeal or something. And still, we don't use that much sugar. But so we got salt and sugar. We did the oil. Oatmeal, I just mentioned oatmeal. We use a little bit of sugar in oatmeal. And I'm telling you, if you don't have nothing else, rice and oatmeal and grits. I have a lot of oatmeal. I like to stock up on oatmeal to last me a long time. Grits also. Um, and I keep honey also. Instead of sugar, my kids will a lot of times put honey in their tea. What else do we use honey for? We use honey for when we make our like fried rice and like Asian food. When we want to cook our Asian meals, you know how you make your garlic sauce. You got to put honey in your garlic sauce. Like you use the soy, you mix the soy with the honey and some garlic, fresh garlic grated in, and just a dash of water, and then you got garlic sauce. And my youngest daughter actually adds to that a little, what do you call it? It's another Asian sauce. Oh, if I could think of it, I picked some up for her not long. Oyster sauce, just a tiny bit, and that's a good garlic sauce. You got a garlic sauce recipe out of me. So yeah, so we did the honey. Oh, I have lots of dried fruits, lots of dried fruits, and lots of nuts. If I'm telling you, that would be a treat. Imagine there's no food left on the shelves, and in your house you have you know, your rice and your beans or whatever it is. But then for snack, you have your nuts. I have nuts, all types of nuts. You know, at Costco you can get the mixed nuts. So I have buckets of those. But then at the farmers market, which is open 24, 24, not 24 hours. What am I saying? 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. There we go. But yeah, so they actually have all types of nuts. So in addition to what I get from Costco, I get from the farmers market also. And so they got more than just nuts. I just have like nuts, dried fruits, all types. I got dates, I've got figs, I've got cranberries. It's just, all that stuff you wanna have for snacks, fruits, nuts, dried milk. I never really used dry milk, but at Walmart many months ago, yeah, it was in 2021, I picked up a large bag of dry milk. I mean, I never had it, um, but I got some. So make sure you get some. You never know, what you may need it for. Especially if you're not able to get milk in the containers. You got something. It probably doesn't taste much like milk. It certainly won't taste like fresh milk that we buy in the containers, but get some dry milk just in case. Date figs, pasta, lots of pasta. excuse me, and pasta sauce. So yeah, I've been collecting pasta for years. So, and I always, when I pull out pasta to cook it, I always go to the older stuff and then I replenish. When I cook some, I buy some more. So lots of pasta and a ton of pasta sauce. Get lots and lots of pasta sauce. And I said broth earlier, so yeah, you want to get a lot of broth if you're into like cooking quinoa. But broth you can use for if you just want a clear soup or something. So lots of broth, tea and coffee. So you want to make sure if you drink tea and coffee like we do here in my house, then you want to make sure you have a good supply of tea and coffee. And if you take vitamins, for energy, extra energy, and nutrients, you want to get your vitamins. Make sure you have some in case they run out. First aid supplies, which we never use, but you know what? You should keep it. We should all have a first aid kit on hand, and I always have. We never had use for it. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Never had use for it. But keep it. Make sure you get it. Cereal. Oh my goodness, cereal. You gotta have cereal, just for snacks, or just as a meal, a breakfast, a morning time meal, snacks, and get, just stock up on your favorite cereals. Get plenty of cereals. I put vinegar here because I use a lot of vinegar. Like I drink vinegar, like especially the apple cider with the mother. So I make sure I keep a good supply of that. But I got the big jugs of vinegar because I like making salads, and so with the salads I always make my own dressings, and I use vinegar in every salad. So and if you don't use vinegar, you don't buy it. But I like vinegar. I use it as often as I can, and in as many meals as I can, and I drink it. So lots of vinegar, baking soda and baking powder. Baking soda, baking powder. I like to keep popcorn kernels. Something made me a few months ago say, if if the shelves run out, the stores run out of food, shelves, they don't stock them back up, and you want to ration your food, and you feel like snacking, and you're tired of nuts, and just to mix up your snacks, popcorn. As long as you have some electricity, or because I have a popcorn machine, a really cute little popcorn machine. So you put your kernels in, and boom, it turns and drops those kernels, turns them into popcorn and drops them right out. So yeah, popcorn kernels. I have lots and lots of popcorn kernels. I like popcorn. And I have soup. So yeah, you can do your canned soups. And I also have seeds. And when I say seeds, I'm not just talking like sunflower and pumpkin, because those I are with the nuts. And so, but I'm talking like I have tons of seeds to grow stuff, like lettuce and corn and all the vegetables you could think of. I have seeds. I have nowhere to plant anything, but I have seeds. So imagine all the food is gone. There's no more food coming. And the only thing that you can get is what, maybe the government would be giving out. And, like somebody like me, I probably wouldn't trust it. So I'd take some seeds and dig up my front yard, even in this apartment, and right out in the front yard, and just start planting all over the place. And letting it grow. But yeah, just keep seeds. I do plan to buy some land at some point, hopefully before this year is up, and then I'll be able to plant, by next year, beginning of next year, or when appropriate, after I get the land. But yeah, there's so much more I could put on this list, but that's all I put for now. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I don't have on the list that you all have already stocked up on or will stock up on. And one thing I've been looking at Because when there's, like, let's say there's nothing left in the supermarkets and you can't get fresh, like something like eggs. So I was on eBay checking out, and I did my research on Google first before I went to eBay to check. I did research on Buff Oppington. Yeah, Buff Oppington. These are chickens, the best chickens that for laying eggs. The best egg laying chickens. Those are Buff Oppingtons, and went back and forth with a lady in Florida that sells them, and she has some hatching eggs. And I think you get like so many. I don't know if it was 4 or 6 for a certain amount of money. But I'm like, if I didn't have this apartment and I had some space to keep them, I would build a coop and get them. So hopefully I can do that before things get really bad. But yeah, if you got some space, you start thinking about, your food supply and growing your own and keep raising your own. There's a neat guy. I'm not subscribed to his channel, but the channel is Lead Farmer, LeadFarmer. I think there's 2 numbers. Lead Farmer 73. Just look up Lead Farmer. He's a guy down in South Carolina, and he grows. He's got fruit trees. He's got like a huge garden, huge. And he grows everything, all his fruits and vegetables. Man, I just wish I was his neighbor so he could show me how to do it. But yeah, you want to start looking up these folks. There's so many people on YouTube that grow. Oh, Homestead Heart is another one. Homestead Heart. But you want to look up some of these folks on YouTube and, start thinking about if you have the space, how you can use your outside space to grow your own food, and raise your own food supply. So, yeah. That's all I had for today. That's my list. I had some other things to talk about, but it has nothing to do with stocking food, but, so I'll just do another video, maybe if not later on tonight, then tomorrow. But, and I know, when we're talking about this, I did write this down, that, a lot of folks, it seems, are panicking because of the food shortages right now. We're at the levels that they are at right now. Folks are panicking, and so many people are panicking. And then I hear that there are so many people that can't afford, because of inflation, the prices that have gone up. They can't afford to buy much. And so I wrote here that we have to ask God, the Most High God, for the grace to use our money wisely. And I actually wrote a flash prayer. It's like a really quick prayer. And if you all bow your heads, I will quickly say to you, Heavenly Father, I pray for the wisdom to use the money that I do have wisely. Amen. I told you it was a flash prayer. Quick, fast. But yeah, just, get those things that are going to keep you fed, you and your family fed. You want to stock up on those. And everything else here is for another show. Not going into any of this. That's it. That's all I got for today. And go ahead and share your, if there's anything that I didn't call out. How about that? Because, I can't think of all of the things that I need to stock up. I'm sure I'm missing some really important stuff. So if you can think of anything that I did not have on my list that your family is in need of or would need during the times of, food shortages, and let me know so I can add to my list. There's a lot I'm sure I didn't think of, and that was just a quick list. I just sat down last night and actually I thought about what I had stocked up in my own kitchen. Spices, I forgot spices. Get spices. Yeah, your onion powder, your garlic powder. I can't even tell you. I got whole pantry spaces dedicated to spices. So I have a lot of spices, and I also have cake mix and powdered sugar, and which well, I only have one powdered sugar because we never use it. But yeah, so yeah, share with me. Leave in the comments, some of the items that I did not call off, so that I can get them in my own stockpile. I thank you for tuning in to Cousin Crystal, and I will see you on the next episode.